What up, what up, what up?
Hey, rise and shine in the early morning.
Monday.
Rise and shine on through the day.
Monday morning, Raised Rowdy Racing podcast.
Hell yeah. It's been a while since we did just a flat out Monday morning first thing when we woke up.
Yeah, I know.
It feels good.
It
Back
does,
at it again.
It does indeed feel good.
Ah, dang. We might even beat Denny out today. We'll find out, though.
Would be cool.
It's all up
if
to
we
you,
did.
Burrell. We're looking at you, boy. Hell yeah.
Well,
We had our Miami weekend, man. Homestead, finally back on the circuit again. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It delivered.
I love Miami. I love, golly, Homestead is just like I don't know, it's like the race. It's just awesome.
Yeah. No,
It's kind of like Kansas. It's like just always does well in these cars.
Yeah, like the mailman. It just always delivers. Gotta love it, man.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you saw the leak from the website that was a complete accident for sure. And then it got the drivers talking in the media on like Thursday or Friday, but it's confirmed that the championship race is going to be there in 26.
No way. I did not see that.
Yeah, they accidentally put it on their website. On Homestead-Miami's website, they have tickets for sale for November 1st, 2026.
Holy crap. That's funny. November 1st, is that about when the championship happened? I always thought it happened like a
So did I, but everybody said
couple weekends in.
Everybody said that was it, and then like this year, the last race of the year is on the 2nd. So
Yeah, I guess that's right.
and
Shit.
then Byron, I think Blaney. There's a couple guys that were like, "Yeah, this seems like it's happening," you know?
Yeah, this is great news. Man, that would be probably the biggest thing to happen to NASCAR in a long time, bringing that championship race back to Homestead, man. That just, the racing that you get there in all three series was so good.
Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense to have your championship race happen anywhere else. When you can put it there, it's worked before, just do it. That was too much damn fun all the way around.
yeah. It's so like my dad's generation, their whole time, the last race of the year was at Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And then my whole generation has been last race of the year at Miami. And I guess there's like a new generation of fans who have only seen the championship race at Phoenix, which I think it's been, like 5 years or something like that? I can't.
It's been a solid
remember.
run.
Yeah.
I know I saw at least 2
long.
or 3 championships at Miami, and then, over to there.
So going back to Homestead will be like how it literally was my whole life until up until like 5 years ago. And it's just like, I don't really, it's warm, which is I think their main thing. It's warm. Miami doesn't sell good tickets, but it's always sold out for championship race. So it gives Miami a way to like an incentive to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Because it's so far away. I mean, it's damn near in the fucking Keys. So it's just forever and day away. So
you're flying there for most of the country.
Yeah. So I think that's the main reason the tickets don't sell well. I think it's probably, if you asked every NASCAR fan, like, I mean, I'd say 80+% are going to say Miami is an incredible racetrack. I would love to go there. But one, it's so far away. Two, I can't afford to go down there. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I think travel is the biggest issue as why the crowds are not great at Miami, except for championship weekend, because I've heard a lot of drivers say, and a lot of fans, they make it like their family vacation, take a whole week, head down to the Keys after the race is over, all the things. Like, it's like you can make a deal out of it. It's not just like this random, people can justify paying all that money to go if it's a championship race, and we'll add this into the vacation, but it's like, just a random race in the middle of March. It's like, I'll wait till summertime.
Exactly. Like, you're not going to catch spring breakers there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's so far away from anything they'd normally be doing. And it's on the weekend, so you're probably heading right back to school as soon as it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely is exciting to hear that. I had no clue. I had not come across that. Somehow in my entire Twitter, I never saw that come across, but that's freaking awesome.
I think it's for sure going to happen. And then
You heard
I
it
don't
here
know.
first on Raised Rowdy Racing.
For real, yeah. There's a couple things that have been floating around though. There's that coming back. It's and I've heard there's rumblings of like actual people on Twitter talking about how there's going to be a final championship round, like a 3 or 4 race thing.
As it should
If
be.
we can bring that back and if we can bring something like that back, have a 3 or 4 race thing, end it at Homestead, get like another 1.5 miles, keep Phoenix, keep Martinsville, keep Homestead. Man, we'd have a hell of a final round if we could do something like that.
That would be fantastic. And just to even think about the whole reason they put the one last final race as like the championship decider, being that like Game 7 moment. You're gonna have a hard time convincing me that there's not gonna be a regularly scheduled Game 7 moment with with like a 3 race run right at the end. Because I mean, yeah, the odds do say there's probably at one scenario where one driver could run away with that, but it's going to be so unlikely with 4 really good teams that still doesn't come down to the very last race.
I don't see it. That's why I think a full season of points with a next gen car would blow people's minds.
Oh, it would,
because no one can get too far ahead.
Days.
Yes. If you really do have this many guys win every year, and I know the gap has closed a little bit, but still take it where I think you're damn near guaranteed in the next gen era 12 plus guys winning every single year anyway.
It sure seems like it.
Yeah, so I just think no one can ever get that. No one will ever be able to get that advantage ever again. Like Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson win every race and be the champion. You know, Matt Kenseth's style race top 5 every single. It's just not going to happen anymore. Just because everybody's
we've
so
hit
close.
That point in the sport.
And they tried to change the championship format to fix that. And now they've changed the car, and now we got this old. They got the championship is like, it would just go back. It would just fix everything. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
it would just be awesome.
At some point, you got to change the Band-Aid.
Yeah,
you can't just have that old crusty thing sitting there for the next eternity. No, it's definitely going to be exciting to see any kind of changes they can make to the playoffs. So I think a lot of people were really bummed out this year when that didn't happen.
Yeah,
and to be perfectly honest, I'm almost glad that they didn't do anything because I'd be afraid that they would make some crazy, way too fast decision over December and then announce it. And the next thing you know, we have all these issues with it again.
Yeah.
I'm almost kind of glad that they took at least one more year because, I mean, while the playoff system isn't exactly healthy, it's not always broken. Sometimes it does play out how they intended for it to, and it very naturally follows. But, I mean, you just had so many bad issues with it last year. It showed a lot of holes in the system. So I'm glad they're taking the time to like try to figure it out. But if that's the case, if both of those rumors are true, that's the 2 things people have been asking for since everything went down last year at Phoenix. So I'm excited to see all those changes. If that's actually true, man, this could be the last year of us complaining every time the race is over, and maybe we'll actually have something good to say every time it comes out.
I would be very, very, very happy if that comes out and is the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's dive into what Homestead was. I thought here again it's been crazy this year. I've gotten to watch I missed only because we took my dad out to eat Saturday, and the race was on my phone the Xfinity race. But I feel like this season so far, between trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, I've watched the most laps of racing I've like ever watched in my life.
Hell yeah!
So
love to hear that.
I watched the whole entire truck race again, and I just also want to throw this out here. Me and you texted about this, and I sent Trey Ryan. I know you remember that page. He used to have the Reese's car in his thing. So he actually got hired by NASCAR, and he runs that NASCAR Insights page for NASCAR now. So basically, what he was doing, he now just gets paid to do it, which is cool. So that's like a legit, for anyone that wants like any stat of all time, ever in the history of the sport, you can go to that NASCAR Insights page, and Trey Ryan has it. And they are what? Truck Series has said 17 races without an overtime finish, which is like the most ever has been 20. 17 in a row.
Yeah, they're working on
close.
they're working on that record for sure.
The truck racing, man, since we've had this podcast, I've pretty much said at one point, I was like, I'm done watching truck races just because they got so bad.
And I'd honestly stopped watching them too. Like, I would throw them on if I had nothing else going on and I was just cleaning the house.
Yeah.
I wasn't exactly stopping what I was doing to pay attention.
It couldn't be more opposite this year. It has been great races, just no wrecking and idiots acting. You know, it just seems like kind of like what the trucks used to be to me. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is a hell of a lot better than it has been in years past.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more. And this last race was another good one. I mean, they do such a good job these days, and they're not, like you said, they're not doing the stupid idiot stuff.
Yeah.
They're not trying too hard. They're not, I mean, there's still going to be a little bit of that. You're just guaranteed it with people being as young as they are, but I don't know what changed. Maybe there's some mentality switch, or maybe Matt Crafton finally punched enough kids that they started acting right. Like, who knows what ended up making it all happen.
I don't know how true this is, but sometime about a year and a half ago, someone in the sport like jumped into the Truck Series driver's ass and was like, y'all got to clean this up because this is embarrassing for everybody.
Damn.
And I don't know how true that is. I don't know who it was, but I just saw a post and it had a bunch of likes and a bunch of people talking about it. And I was like, maybe somebody did jump in somebody's ass, old school stuff.
Yeah.
But
who knows? I mean, shoot, it could have been Kyle Busch in a driver's meeting.
Yeah, whatever it was, they've really turned a corner here recently, and I've actually enjoyed Truck Series racing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is they always say the garage will police itself, and I think a lot of times people get a little carried away with that, and they think it's actually going to do it pretty immediately. I know it takes a little bit of time, but it's nice whenever somebody actually does finally come down. I mean, when the switch finally happens, they've been needing that for so long, because you had so many hardcore fans starting to treat the trucks like another ARCA.
Yeah.
So they really needed this turnaround.
They did.
I think it'll help them out a lot down the road for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And like you said, this weekend delivered again. It was a great race. And damn, I somehow from 22nd place on the last run, Kyle Larson runs him down and wins. I mean, it definitely, if Heim doesn't have, which was also the weirdest thing I've ever seen. The car is shutting off, and then he can fire it back up, and he's good, and he's
somebody's
off.
just hitting the off switch.
It was just odd, the oddest thing I've ever seen. But if that doesn't happen, I think Heim is too far out there for Larson to get, even though they were saying he was at some point a whole entire second faster than he was, on their fast laps. That last run was only, 38, 40 laps, like, something like that.
I don't even know if it was that many. It was like something stupid, like 24 or 25.
Yeah, it averaged out him passing. That's probably right, because it averaged out him passing about a car a lap.
Yeah, and it was wild to watch, because I already knew what was going down, so I had the added benefit of already just super hardcore watching everything he was doing. And so I knew there was going to be a wreck at some point, and I was watching the damn race go down, and I'm getting down to, 60 to go. I'm like, okay, that wreck should be happening any second now. Then it was 50 to go, and I'm like, holy crap. I thought he was supposed to spin at some point. It gets almost down to 40 to go, and he finally goes around. I'm just like, holy crap. Like, I really thought that was going to happen so much earlier. Every single lap that went by before he wrecked made it more impressive that he came back and won that race.
Yeah, it was crazy. I just could not believe that it happened. It was just one of the more impressive things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane to watch.
And then,
but good for him. Getting that win was huge. And I mean, it did take a little bit of luck playing out, but man, with his luck at that track, he's got to take his good luck where he can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle Larson's only been racing like 10 years, and he has the all-time most laps led at Homestead. I saw that yesterday on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Just adding to it last night.
Yeah, he's just, crazy. And then the Xfinity race, I mean, just dominated. Just fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, we're whoever drives the 54 car away from the sweep.
Yeah. I mean, he had it all but locked up there. He really did. And I mean, yet that's just a part of it. You can't always predict that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And when you got Superman lining up behind you, man, God, that was
Superman.
That was so frustrating.
Oh God, it took me a second. You're talking about Sam Mayer with his little, your little thing he does.
Yeah, Sam Mayer has the lamest NASCAR celebration out of all the drivers I've ever seen. And I'll stand by that till he starts doing something different.
You also weren't too thrilled with Sammy Smith's he said he's whatever he's doing, like thumbs up, doing this.
Man.
And
so
I was like,
I'm gonna have to post this on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Just the little short video.
Yeah, I love that the
holy
videos.
Crap.
It's almost like a boomerang. It's so short. Like you just like you can tell him what you said, but the video is so short. It literally looks like a boomerang that Caleb took.
Yeah, this is so Sammy Smith wins. I think it was stage 2 that he won that day. He wins the stage, they do the little promo video just showing him like standing in a random place, the clock tower thing that they do or whatever. And they just show off the driver. Well, this guy's got to be every like single second of 11 years old, standing there looking at the camera, and he's got this blank expression on his face. And young people these days, I don't know what it is, but they have this like way of hiding any sort of emotion or anything. It's almost like they're afraid to express themselves. So he's just got this blank stare going on at the camera.
Oh,
and
God.
He just looks like he's bored as all get out, or just completely scared to death, somewhere in between him.
Or both.
Or both, honestly. And they do, the random shots where they pan the camera from right in front of his face, and then they're like coming around from behind, and then they're coming down from up top. He puts out one cheesy school photo smile on the last one, crossing his arms and looking at it with this like cheesy grin. And then the next thing you know, he's pumping his fist in the air, but he puts that damn blank, dumb expression on his face, and just starts pumping his fist in the air about as slow as I've ever seen anybody pump their fist in the air. And it's just the most awkward, just uncomfortable looking. Like he just looked like he had no business being there. Like he had no idea why any of this was happening. He was just scared to death.
Oh, man.
And I'll have to post that on Twitter because it was just one of the most, I can't believe the camera people in the room didn't try to help him out a little bit, and that NASCAR was just like, yep, looks good, signed off on it. Like, not a good look for your boy, and it's not his fault. Looks like nobody coached him on this.
Yeah, Caleb sent it to us in the group chat. I don't know if it was like 3 different videos or what, but it came through 3 times, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then he said, I'm going to use this for if anybody has anything going on that I basically don't give a shit about, I'm just going to send them this. And he was like, so-and-so puts out a new single and sends us the video again. So I think we got it like 4 times.
Yeah,
the thing. I was like,
just kept resending
oh, this is awesome.
I sent it the first one after he wins the stage and just said, this motherfucker.
Yeah, it was funny as shit.
I'm just going to go ahead and pop that up on Twitter right now, so that way anybody that wants to can go see.
Jordan Bianchi posted, though, when the caution flag came out, Larson was at like 19-something seconds ahead of second, and he had lapped up to 5th or 6th, I can't remember, but led 132 laps, 100% should have won. We should have had the weekend sweep diecast set, but we don't. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. It just is what it is. Shit happens, I guess. And then we get to the Cup race, and it's the least dominant Kyle Larson win I've ever seen.
Like, oh my gosh. I really was getting worried he was even going to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, he just kind of every race this past weekend, though, he did not have the short run car. Every single car was the long run car, which they did a great job, I thought, on the broadcast talking about. Like, it's not necessarily that his car is set up for the long run. It's just that he is better at making speed on those old ass tires. Which, Denny and Larson were the 2 guys that pitted. Both of them on the stages. Denny would pit at lap 41. Larson would pit at lap 40. So basically, dead split in the stages. that was the strategy. That kept Hamlin up there. That kept Larson up there. They had the newer tires on the second round of not pit stops, but the second half of the stages. Gave them dude, Blaney and some of those guys were pitting at like lap 32. So, that's 8 laps. And it was really showing at the end. Even though I know the pitting early gives you that advantage first, but that's not that advantage when the green and white checkered fall. And finally, Boyer, at one point, he was like, all right, I've seen it work already. I am sold on the splitting it in half. And then it kind of tailed towards, I feel like everybody's kind of started doing that if they saw how much it helped on the second end. But every time those two guys pitted, and they raced beside each other all day long, it felt like. But every time those two guys pitted, they split their fuel, their run dead in half. And it worked.
They definitely nailed that strategy, and I wonder if part of it has to do with the fact that back in the day, when this car first came out, it really wouldn't have mattered if they did. It would have at the end of the day. It always matters a little. But with the way the tire was previous trips to Homestead, it was almost like they were banking on, well, our tire's not wearing out fast enough for these extra laps to really make enough of a difference for somebody to be able to genuinely pass you. Whereas nowadays, I think they've worked on the tires and they've worked on the cars enough that tire advantage is starting to creep its way back into the sport, where you really have to, you kind of got to watch what everybody else is doing. You can't just do your strategy and who cares what anybody else does. As long as you pit first, you're fine.
Yeah.
Which is where we were for a little bit there. And now all of a sudden they're able to hold on to it for a little bit longer and really play up that tire difference.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that it's Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson being the ones that are pushing that envelope and saying, now we're going to stick to this strategy.
Yeah, and I thought that's what made I got a couple people to call out here. But, that's what the race to me, whether it's Larson or
Jeff Gluck.
No. Jeff Gluck didn't actually say one thing this weekend that pissed me off for the first time all year.
Dang.
But
Jeff, you're unblocked on Twitter again.
Yeah, fuck. With the stages, every part of the race between strategy, stages, and the finish, you never knew how it was going to end up because of these guys. You have the whole field on basically between pitting from 32 laps to 41 laps. So 9 laps of different sets of tires. You never knew at any point how any of it was going to unfold, with strategy, with the stages, and with the finish. And PJ North, one of my great friends, he texts me at the beginning of the race.
I'm going to call this guy out real quick.
He tells me that this is why he hates Miami. PJ, I love you. You know I do. But I had to bring this up. He hates Miami because the leader gets
This is
out.
all Dawson's opinion, by the way. I know you're working on my logo. Please don't ruin it.
He does all of my logos and stuff, too. So, but I just had, me and PJ, we also text every, not just even on Sundays. We text about the trucks and Xfinity races, too. But he tells me this is why he hates Miami, because the leader gets so far out. And I'm like, damn, I love this track. I'm like, even if it's not Larson or whoever, you can run, somebody can run somebody down, which is that's what I love about racing, is there's always the chance. That's what's changed a lot with these cars and stuff. It's you get close, you can't do it. Well, Miami's so wide, if this guy's in your way or messing your air up, well, I'll just go low. Or if he's low, I'll just go high. I got plenty of options to figure out where I need to go. And then this other fella on TikTok, his name was Christopher Cummins 00 or something. And he tells me the same thing. This race sucked. I hate Miami. I'm like, I literally text back. I'm like, I'm Kyle Busch. And I'm like, if you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you, dog. If you need to go, I don't know what you need to watch, but it ain't F1, but you need to go watch something else if this isn't doing it for you.
I just don't know what I wonder if it has to do with the people that don't really watch for the strategy calls. They just want to see who's in the lead. They want to see people pass. They're not paying close enough attention to really know, because the secret sauce in Miami is that even when it's boring, there's something going on. There's always something going on. Because I used to say the same thing whenever we first started watching. I was like, I really don't get Miami. It just seems like every single time it's a little bit of strategy plays out, but it just ends up with one guy being way out in the lead. Well, I started to figure it out. This race isn't all about insane close racing all the time, 100% of the time. This race is about the details. It's about the real skill of the driver, because you have people that can go faster around that racetrack just because they brought a bigger set of balls to the racetrack with them. I mean, you got Larson that's within 2 inches of the wall. He's going to run faster than a guy that's not able to get up that close and has to rely on different grooves in the racetrack more often. And so you really do have a tested driver skill. It's like, how good do you want to win here? Because if you want to win here, you've got to go out and perfect every inch of that racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is. It's a thinking man's game. Everything is based off of inches instead of miles. And it's based off the little tiny moves that you make rather than the big, grand, crazy moments. I mean, this race tells a story in a way most races don't.
Yeah, it's I texted PJ and I was like, well, if more people paid attention, you can see that, like, touching the wall a couple times during the race is, in putting it literally on that edge, is still way faster than backing a foot off the wall and not making that extra speed because you don't want to get into the wall. And
Yeah.
I thought Harvick said something cool at the end of the race. It was after Larson had won, but the thing Larson does the best is the car is on the outside, but it's really just the back end of the car that's against the wall, and it's the way the car is he's got it so hung out. He can get into the wall, but the front end doesn't get into the wall, so it doesn't scrub any speed off of his car. I mean, Larson there's no telling, like, if you put together all of his hits in the wall, how many miles he was in the wall yesterday. The whole day.
Clint Boyer did say in the middle of the race, he's like, I've been watching him. I think that's like the 17th or 18th time he's been in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, the right rear of the car was gone.
And you know what he's doing? He's flattening out that side of that car right there where you want it to be flat. I mean, he's making his drive better every time he touches the wall.
Yeah, and he sits there and he drives it sideways and he lets the ass end hang out just like he does in a dirt car. And he's so comfortable with that, and he just makes so much speed. It's just insane, really. It just blows my mind. And after this, we can get off the Kyle Larson train here. But I thought this stat was just mind blowing. But so that was Larson's 30th career Cup Series win on his 372nd start. He got to 30 wins in less races faster than Mark Martin, Denny Hamlin, Dale Jarrett, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch. All
Dang.
Hall of Famers or soon-to-be Hall of Famers.
Oh, yeah. That's wild.
That's a wild
That's
stat.
crazy stuff. And that's that's with missing all those races in 2022.
He gets out of the car and says, if we were still in the old car in 2021, the same style of car we raced in 2021, he said, I think I could have 50 Cup wins right now.
That's saying something. That's saying something.
I mean, dude, that was 5 years ago, and he could win 10 races a year. I mean, it's just crazy. The car brings everyone back down to a even playing field, but just off straight talent, it just blows my mind. What he does, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, he's got just insane streak going on right now, and it's like, I wonder, where's the ceiling here? I don't know that we even have come close to seeing it yet.
And he's just like every other driver. The more he's in a race car, the better he does. I mean, he wins the high limit race this week, wins the truck race, dominates the Xfinity race, wins the Cup race.
Yeah.
Went to victory lane 3 times in a span of 4 days.
That's just insane. Dude's just got it. I mean, I'm excited to see where he goes by the end of his career. I'm probably going to be sick of that guy and ready for him to retire.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
We'll see how talk to me in about 5 years about the 5 car. We'll see how we feel about it.
I don't know how long Larson's going to really race, though. He does. I've heard him say in an interview like he doesn't really see him going past 40 in a Cup car, which gives him, I think, like 8 more years.
I mean, he could say that now, but a lot can happen in 8 years.
Totally.
You know? Once you have a couple championships under your belt and all these engagements are giving you all this crazy benefit. I mean, who knows what he'll end up doing. Or he'll just, Carl Edwards is way right out of the Cup Series.
Yeah, I've said all along since he started the High Limit Series, I was like, that's Kyle Larson's retirement plan right there, because they're going to make that bigger than the World of Outlaws one day. And it's going to be...
Yeah, they're. I mean, especially if he's the one racing
they're already
he's just
going to
bring so many fans over.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring this up. I thought this was kind of crazy. I didn't realize that they were all doing this well. But all 4 HMS cars are in the top 6 in points, and the other 2 up there in points are Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell.
Gosh, and I'm just not surprised because they've been racking off at least top 10s
just
all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the 48 just had the pole, too. I mean, he's probably the one guy. Him and Chase are both the kind of guys that I feel like are pulling up the rear right now.
But look at my stat direct. Look at number 4 on the list here. This is what blew my mind.
Damn. I would never have thought that.
He has the best average finish in the Cup Series this year, just from – it goes back to when everybody was talking last year and TJ Majors, stood on this ground. He was like, how do you get rid of Alex Bowman? The dude runs top 10 every week. And he just said that every time somebody says that this person's getting the 48 or he's getting this, it's like, who are you going to put in there that's going to do that every single week?
Yeah. He's so quiet. I just don't even notice him on the track finishing that high every week. He's
just
that
Mr.
quiet
Consistent,
to me. I feel like,
though.
Yeah, he's
crazy.
super consistent. He's never.
We're talking about Bowman,
yesterday,
by the way. I know I said look at number 4. Y'all can't see my list here, but Bowman is who we're talking about.
Yeah. No, I just it's so funny, man. I just have not noticed him this year. I would, if you would ask me where he was at in points, I probably would have given you 8th or 9th.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue. That's awesome. That's being quiet and doing your damn job and getting the damn job done.
Yeah.
Not complaining, not making huge waves or anything, but I mean, you're right. How do you get rid of a guy like that?
Yeah, and then Jeff Gordon was sitting on the 48's box yesterday, and then he gets into the winner's press conference and does the press conference, and he reiterates the whole – they almost talked about Bowman in the press conference more than Larson. He wanted to just stress, he said it multiple times, Bowman is our guy. We're giving him all the resources. He's not on his way out the door, basically. Everybody in this whole industry just assumes he is, which I think is the craziest thing ever. I always have. I think Alex Bowman's a great race car driver. So I've never understood that whole deal. And like I said, and like TJ said, brings it up all the time. Dude just finishes in the top 10 damn near every week, pretty much wherever they go. He's not necessarily winning every single race, but consistent. If this was the old point standings, the way things used to be, running those top 10 races, ask Matt Kenseth in 2003. Yeah. Ryan Newman had the most wins, but who ran top 5 every single week? Matt Kenseth, and that's how he won the championship. Consistency.
That consistency carries you a long way.
That used to be king, and now, winning races is. But golly, I don't want to ever get to the point where we think a guy that's averaging a top 10 finish is, just because he doesn't win every week, is not a good race car driver. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's where the Twitter trolls be just going crazy on the internet.
It's so true. I mean, they're just looking at. That's the thing. You can't just look at one stat line for a guy. You can't just look at career wins. You cannot just look at how many times has he won recently. As much as winning matters, it's not all about the wins. There's so much more that builds a great race car driver that does not show up in that particular stat line, that you have to pay attention and know, is this guy worth keeping around or not? And honestly, average finish to me is one of the biggest ones. And that's how do you argue? 3rd in points, 9.5 average finish this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's solid.
Yep.
That's solid. That is averaging in the top 10 every single race.
All right, let's go to the next point here. This is one of our favorite topic discussions.
Little tiny squirrel boy.
Ty Gibbs is 34th in points after Homestead-Miami.
And finished in 24th or 25th.
I believe, yep.
Golly. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what the guy needs. It's weird.
I think I think a lot of it is like he has been so much better in everything up to this point. It kind of goes to like what I heard Joey Logano talk about this, and it was either with Kevin Harvick on his podcast or in a broadcast with Kevin Harvick. But he made a point, and he was like, all the way through my whole entire life, he's talking about Legends cars, late models, Xfinity cars, trucks, all this stuff. He said, I could just win. I didn't have to work for anything. I didn't know how to work for it because my talent, my raw speed just got me there. I did not have to work for anything. Then I get to the Cup Series, and you're racing literally against the best of the best, and just the raw talent doesn't do it. You have to put in all of this other work, and it took Joey Logano. Joey Logano got fired from Joe Gibbs Racing because of that exact thing, So It's like, I feel like a guy just like Joey Logano could sit down with Ty Gibbs and like really give him advice, or just how it this is what it was like for me, this is what I had to do. But I mean, they put this little compilation of Joey Logano they're talking about. I mean, Joey Logano used to just wreck all the time, and then one day it just all figured it out, and now he's sitting here with however many wins Joey Logano has and 3 championships.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like that has something to do with it.
That's a solid point. I love that. That makes absolute and total sense, because even in the Xfinity Series, he was out there winning on his very first start.
Won his first race ever.
And goes out and still does really good with every other start that he had. And then next thing you know, he's in the Cup Series, and yeah, he started off on really good. And I feel like you see this happen a lot when people enter into a new series. They'll beginner's luck thing. Sometimes it works out that way because you don't even know what you're doing right. You're just happen to be making the best decisions possible, even though you don't really know what you're doing. And then all of a sudden you start to get a little bit of that extra knowledge, and you start to overthink everything. And it's almost like all that luck you were having goes away because now you're thinking too hard about it, and then you're trying too hard. And then next thing you know, you're overdriving and you're ending up in 25th. And it's almost like you need to hit that reset button at some point. And hopefully he can find it and hit it, because I mean, it's just going to be brutal for him to get on social media. I don't see him getting out of that ride anytime soon.
No, his name's on the building. Ain't no way.
Yeah, his name's on the door. But, I mean, at some point, he's just, unless you want to feel like Austin Dillon every time you log on to Twitter, I mean, you got to start doing something.
Yeah.
Man.
That, next point here. So I got on Twitter, and I was like, I had said something. I was like, there's somebody in this race who normally gets talked about a decent bit, who literally name has not been spoken once on this whole broadcast, and it was Chastain's. And I get on Twitter, they post their finishing order from this race. This is Trackhouse posted this. They ran, Suarez finished 22nd, Chastain finished 31st, and SVG finished 34th.
SVG, I understand, but what's
100%.
Going on
Something
with Chastain?
Just Trackhouse, man. I don't know.
Weird. They're just off.
They are
just off.
I have I don't know. I'm just going to ask you what you think about this. Okay. They've been in town. They've been doing this for only a few years. And now they have, well, they don't necessarily have an Xfinity Series program, but basically they have a Cup program, an Xfinity Series program, and this MotoGP stuff, and they have all these drivers from all these places. Is it possible that Trackhouse is like kind of stringing themselves too thin a little bit here with just kind of stuff going on everywhere?
Hey, it could be. I mean, hard to say that can't be the case.
I just want that's strictly my opinion. I haven't seen anybody post that, so I'm not like, putting that out there. That's my opinion of like, they came in just kicking ass. And I posted all the time. I was like, working at Trackhouse nowadays is probably like working at DEI back in 2002. Like, just like the funnest, coolest, best, place to work.
We're the shit and we know it.
Yeah, and then something just happened. Happened to Ross Chastain after that Darlington deal and the Rick Hendrick deal. And not necessarily that Suarez just lights the world on fire, but like just in general, they used to just all run better as a whole.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, everybody was vying for wins every single week. And now they're finishing 22nd,
And
31st, and 34th.
Chastain has wins on ovals. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like they just like snuck up and got a win at a plate track or snuck up and just because they dominated a road course. Like,
I mean, Chastain was in the Final Four.
Yes, exactly. My point
with this
exactly.
team.
They've done something's happened. I don't know what it is. Something's changed. Something I don't know. I have no idea. But they just, they should not with the team they are, the resources they have, the drivers they have. Dude, going out and running 30th with 2 cars. I mean, that 22nd. I mean, even 22nd is brutal. Like, just not even being spoke about all day long.
And just being so far back, I wasn't even paying attention to them. I know there wasn't any kind of wreck or anything that they were in.
They just ran in the back.
There was hardly any of those.
I'll tell you what it is. Actually, this is my opinion. That damn Kubota scheme sucks. And it's got too many damn words on it. I feel like I'm reading a newspaper trying to look at this Kubota scheme. It's got too many words on it. It's slowing down the damn car. That's the problem. That's the problem.
You gotta slow it down so the fans can read it.
Yeah, it's got to be so slow they can read the newspaper that's on the hood and the side of it. So that's actually why Chastain's running so bad.
I got to pull this scheme up just to look at it again.
I retweeted it the weekend. The weekend they ran, the first weekend they ran it, I reposted it. And the thing is, like, orange and black, like the color combinations of it is like I love orange and black together. But it's like Kubota tractor days, and it's got some words underneath it, and it's just these logos on the car with all these words, and I'm like, oh God, this is ugly. This is horrible. Do you see it?
I'm guessing it's this one right here.
Oh yeah, do you see the hood? So we got the fender with some words on it. We have the
Kubota
logo with
Orange
words.
Days sales event.
We got logo. And then the
year's
hood
best selection, year's best deals. Kubota. Yeah, I mean they don't really have a good.
They're just words
not
everywhere
a good view of the
on
hood.
This car.
But there are a lot of words. I think it's not helped out by the fact that the other contingency sponsors are all big, wordy, blocky logos as well, like Jockey.
Yes, it makes it just
Moose.
look like a dictionary across the side of the car or something.
Yeah, it definitely has a bit of the classifieds going on.
Yeah, I'm glad someone agrees though. Like, I
definitely thought it was going to be worse by how you were describing it, but I totally see what you mean because it's less about the artwork and it's more about I need all the words to be there.
When they ran
our logo and our name,
when they ran just the Kubota logo, and him and Suarez had the bright orange cars with the black kind of highlights and chrome highlights. I was all about it. I loved it. And then this thing comes out, and I'm like, oh God, this is horrible.
So not on your trading paint list today.
No, not at all. That was not it.
Hell, maybe you're right. Maybe that is what's slowing them down. They're worried too much about where to put all these damn words on the car. They have to spend too much of their weekly meetings discussing that for the wrap.
Okay, we got to bring this up since it was all over Twitter last night, and it's been semi on my TikTok this morning. So Kyle Busch finished his 30th. I think finished actually 30. I think 30th.
And let's make sure everybody understands. Didn't just finish there. Naturally ran and finished in that location.
Just also a guy that did not get spoke about all day. He says last night on Twitter, it was like 42 minutes after the checkered flag falls in the race, just says, big announcement tomorrow at 18:51 Central Time. Or whatever it said, Eastern, Central, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, 18 and 51 are his two old numbers.
I did not put that together.
So what's this announcement going to be? Is it him and his son racing? Is it a major announcement? Like, it's coming out today. It's coming out this evening at 6 o'clock, almost 7.
Kyle Busch Motorsports on the way back in?
I don't know. I don't know. See, I just don't know.
It could be a lot of different things, but I mean, that's, I think, the most likely thing to me. I don't see him retiring yet. I really don't see him retiring yet. I don't think he's ready for that. I think he wants to be in a better team. That's for damn sure. But 18:51, that's a tough one. Maybe he's starting up an Xfinity team this time. Just saying, screw the Truck Series. I'm just going to go Xfinity racing.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw Eric Estep posted. All right, he's like, I haven't paid attention much, but can someone tell me, like, why Kyle Busch is running. At the time, he was running like 32nd
Yeah.
or 34th.
Kyle Busch fans, can you let me know why he's running so shitty?
And did you see the comments? Every comment.
No, I didn't click on it.
Just tags RCR Racing. Just tags them in it. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man.
Dude, I had so much faith when he went to that car. After Reddick's success in it and Kyle Busch going into that car, I had so much faith that it was going to run
Didn't
up
he win 3
front.
races his first, first half of that year?
Yeah, he did great. And then it just tanked.
Mm-hmm.
It just tanked. And you just can't blame Kyle Busch for that.
Yeah,
Something's going on with that team.
If you can't win with Kyle Busch, I think you got major problems.
Their major problems is RC's started to worry a little bit too much about going to Trump rallies and telling people to hold his watch. I think his focus is not on racing the way it used to be. I think he is way too. You talk about spreading yourself thin. I'm not saying he's the only problem, but I definitely don't think it helps that you got the owner that's acting like it's still 1994 and being just a little bit out of touch with his team. It feels like that's just my personal feelings about it. Just watching it from the outside.
On the flip side of that, their Xfinity program has 2 of the fastest damn race cars every single week. It is mind blowing how drastically different the 2 situations are.
Yeah, and I mean, they're digging themselves a deeper hole every year they leave Austin Dillon in that car. I mean, just that's got to change. Until they get him out of the car, nothing's going to change at that team because they're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And they expected Kyle Busch to be the one thing that was going to turn that team around without changing anything else. And it's like, I don't know what you expect this guy to do. He can't do it all for you. He can't just go out there and outdrive his equipment every single week. Eventually, you've got to give him equipment worth driving, or you're not going to have that guy for very long.
Please tell me you heard what Austin Dillon said on the radio last week when he got in the wreck with Keselowski.
No. Oh, wait, yes, I did, but I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember him talking a mad shit about dogs and fleas.
Okay. He has the audacity to come across the radio and say, when you run with the dogs, you get fleas. Does that motherfucker not realize he's a flea?
You're the flea, dude.
I mean, golly. Talk about just like no self-awareness whatsoever.
And it's
just Jesus
and it's funny
Christ.
because if I was in the same situation, I would have said something the same thing. You know, you're frustrated in the moment.
Golly.
You don't know that that's going to get clipped for radioactive. You don't know that people are going to hear that and throw that up on a logo. So you're just assuming you're just saying this to your team. But when you say stuff like that and it does get out to the public, you're definitely holding it. You're standing next to a hole holding a shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pretty obvious that you're the one you're creating this situation for yourself, dog.
All right, next
flea.
Flea. Next point here, and this has been pretty cool. But our Priest has been the fastest RFK car all year long, finishing in the top 10, qualifying.
I'm so
pretty
proud
good.
of that guy.
Yes, Caleb is been a big Ryan Priest guy, like since the Xfinity Joe Gibbs
since
days.
The 18 car that he jumped in and just started winning races in 3 out of 5 or something crazy.
In points, Priest and Buscher, they're doing pretty good, looking like back end playoff cars. But man, Brad K is sitting there in 32nd, I believe it was either 32nd or 33rd, right above Ty Gibbs.
Points. I don't know what's going on with their car. I mean,
he's been
Brad's
in like
a
wreck,
side,
like 3 or 4 races, but like they're just still like not qualifying. Even they're not even qualifying good, you know?
Yeah, like nothing. It's everything's missing. Everything's skipping a little bit along that team, and it's just out of character. I mean, Brad K's a great driver, and they were doing great the last 2 years. I mean,
you know what? I just
everybody was talking like so much stuff about them. Like, look how much they're improving, and he's winning races. And now
they
been a rough
have a new
go
crew
of it.
chief this year.
That will probably
McCall,
do it.
I think was his name. That guy, he went to a different team. I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha. That'll definitely. Hey,
we've talked about that with Denny
crew chiefs
and
late,
Ty, and all
career.
these guys have different crew chiefs now.
Yeah,
and yes, the crew chief
struggling.
The crew chief change late in a driver's career is it just tracks out not to work out well for the driver.
Yeah, not a death sentence, but definitely usually not in their favor.
No, so we've talked about that. thought this was a cool stat. Allmendinger has the best average finish in the next-gen era at Homestead.
And I almost put him down instead of Austin Cindric on that bet I was talking to you about yesterday.
You should
I
have.
had the most heartbreaking bet of all time yesterday. Well, not of all time, but I had a parlay with Austin Cindric and Ryan Preece finishing in the top 10. Austin Cindric runs top 10 all freaking race long. He was riding in like 7th place. Ryan Preece starts in like 30th, 31st, and he climbed his way up position after position all race long to finish in 9th place. And who gets a freaking speeding penalty on the last pit stop of the race? Austin Cindric, who has been my lock for top 10, drops all the way down to like 22nd or something.
That's tough.
On the last stop of the race. I had that one called. I had Blaney winning the race. If I bet on him yesterday, I'm telling you, something bad happened to him.
Yeah, that sucks.
I had Reddick to finish in the top 5, and that dude couldn't smell the top 10.
Also, though, the Penske boys, and we're going to throw Josh Berry in there just for a second, even though they don't, however that situation is. But, man, they had some weird pit road stuff yesterday. Cindric and Logano got into each other, and then the 21 and the 22 get into each other, and they spin out. Like, they had some weird pit road stuff when they were all together yesterday.
Oh, man, that's execution right there. You just can't help a bad finish when you're spinning on pit road.
Yeah. And then Blaney, second blown motor of the year after dominating the race.
Where's God, dude?
04 style blow up too. I mean, it was so smoky. I mean, it grenaded the motor.
I'm telling you, that's 2 week. That's all year for Blaney. The luck has not been on his side, but that's just the second week in a row where I really thought we were going to have a win, and just goes away all at once without warning. That is such a Blaney thing to do, to just dominate the race and then just blow up your motor.
Yeah.
It's like, what you're just not meant to win this one.
Caught on fire even. I mean, it was a legit blow up,
Yeah, that is true. I have not seen a blow up that big in a long time, and not that many have, but that's just, how do you just can't help it when your engine blows up that big. I mean, that's just nothing you can do.
Well,
it's just time to go home.
This is a good point to move on to next week. We are going to like his best track of his career. So if he's got a shot of dominating, I feel like it's going to happen next weekend. So he's like top of the list in like average finish, laps led, stage finish. Like he was green number 1 across the board in like all the things they track in the metric thing at we're talking about Martinsville. He's number 1 across the board. Literally a green stripe. He's number 1 across the board at Martinsville. So, like,
dude,
by far, Blaney, Homestead being one of them. Blaney has a couple tracks where he, like, dominates, but, like, man, Martinsville is, like, his just sweet spot, wheelhouse. Exactly what top of the board on everything. Gonna qualify
I
well.
love a good Martinsville race.
Yeah. We're bringing that soft tire back. Gonna be rubber all over the cars again. I love that.
Martinsville is going to be a hellacious race, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I mean, for picks for next week, I mean, damn, it's going to be hard not to say Blaney number 1. I mean, Blaney's number 1.
Oh yeah,
might even throw some money on Blaney to win. His odds are probably shitty though.
They're going to
really
be something
good,
stupid. They'll never be as bad as Kyle Larson being like minus 130 to win a race in the Xfinity Series.
Bro, he was minus 900 for the trucks before it cranked up. I was like, come on, man.
It's just that's not even fun.
No.
That's not even fun. They just don't want you to bet on Kyle Larson.
Every single driver, because you never know what happens, should be plus money, no matter what in a race.
And I mean, I get like a little bit of a minus, but like, it's still a 50-50 shot that you don't get wrecked at some point in the middle of a truck race. Like, let's keep that in mind here.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, man, come on.
That's lame. Yeah. That's just stupid. But that tells you how many Kyle Larson fans are out there that they want to adjust it that hard.
Yeah.
But, gosh, other picks. So you got Blaney for sure.
William Byron runs pretty good at Martinsville.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely does. Yeah, he definitely's got it.
Hamlin runs really well at Martinsville.
If Hamlin brings a decent car, I would wait till after qualifying to worry about whether he's going to be good or not.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple practice sessions in a qualifying, because that dude's been inconsistent this year.
A sleeper which is not a sleeper because how he's running, but a guy that's like sneaky good at Martinsville is Alex Bowman.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I mean,
No doubt about it.
He's probably going to run top 10. I mean, he's like a guaranteed top 10 bet.
I would say another one like a garage driver for your fantasy would be AJ Allmendinger. Maybe like a top 10 bet on him because I bet he'll be plus money, but he usually does uncharacteristically well at Martinsville. So I could see him at least like scratching for a top 10.
Not that SVG, just talking kind of about some road course guys here. They've always said, Martinsville kind of fits into their wheelhouse because of the shipped in and the heavy braking and all that.
Yeah.
Granted, I think he's only raced twice at Martinsville, but his average finish is 12, which is not terrible.
Another good sleeper.
Yeah, so I do, and being a 500 lap race, like I think it just that also kind of fits into SVG's wheelhouse. I don't know why, but it just seems like he's that guy that can, like a Priest. They just have that same kind of mentality, if that makes sense to me.
Yes,
they can
very
just,
much so.
They can just get there by the end of the race. Like they're not going to just go in there and plow through everybody. They can like methodically get themselves to the front in a 500 lap race.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think those will definitely be a couple guys worth watching.
Dude, Priest is a guy to watch too, though, man. I mean, I know when he qualified on the pole there and had that one tire problem, but the dude, like we've all said it, once he got into some good cars, like Martinsville is his track. I mean, he's a modified guy.
Yeah.
That's their biggest race of the year. He's won there before.
He loves that track.
So Priest, I might be having Priest in my lineup.
In your top 5 lineup,
yeah, I think
for sure,
so, dude.
Even on top of it. So that's another good point. I mean, there's a lot of guys to watch for. That's the one great part about Martinsville being a 500-mile race is that's a long time for a lot of things to play out. And one bad move from your driver that shucks them out of the line and they have to rejoin somewhere, that could cost them 5 positions, but that 5 positions is like 50-something laps behind those guys till you can finally pass them all back again. I mean, you could be there for a minute. So
yeah.
Any one weird thing happens to your driver, and you never know what the rest of that race is going to look like.
Totally.
So
that's our.
It's good to have a few sleepers there.
Solid Martinsville predictions there.
Heck yeah, Brandy's pick of the week.
What is your hack of the week?
Oh man, just blowing up.
Blaney's engine builder.
No, gosh, the hack of the week for me, yeah, Blaney's engine welder would be definitely a good one. Hack of the week for me is gonna have to be the golly, what was his number? The 41. Just doing what he did right there on that last restart. Not because it took the sweep away from Larson, him doing that, but just how badly he mistimed it. How much that affected his own race on top of Larson's race. Just, you got to time that better. He definitely had himself in a position there where he could have easily taken that win and run with it, and he just put himself on the back foot. You got to time your moves better. You got to think a little harder there. You can't let that pressure of that moment get to you. And kind of piggybacking off of this, Alex Bowman's my other backup hack of the week. Getting right down to the end of the race.
Hitting the wall.
I mean, it's one thing to race him hard and end up in the wall at some point. It's another thing to literally just see him get close enough where he can start making moves and freak out and get into the wall. And I know it could have happened to anybody. It could have happened at any point. But damn, you're in the Cup Series, man. You can't be getting into the wall on your own before he even has a chance to like push you up into it. But
yeah, I'll get to my hack of the week in a second. I just want to hit something about the Sam Mayer thing. Sam Mayer, the reason he gets so much flack on the internet, he brings it all on himself. When he gets out of these cars and says, I don't know why, and he's this last year, not yesterday or Saturday, but like, I don't know why a Cup Series team wouldn't want me, and does a Superman stuff and just does stupid shit and then also says stupid shit. That's why on Saturdays, it has nothing to do with Kyle Larson. It has everything to do with him bringing it all on himself. And if he just learned if he could just shut up and if they could just not put a microphone in his face and he wouldn't say the stupidest shit you've ever heard, he would not have as many haters as he has. But
It's so true.
all of his haters are self-induced.
I'm telling you, I would not be a hater if it wasn't for the Superman move. That's it for me, dude.
Yeah.
It's that slow. That's just awkward and weird. Like, he needs to quit doing that.
My hack of the week, though, isn't even the 41. It's for the dumbasses causing a caution with 5 laps to go. On the front stretch,
Oh, yeah.
54 spins out. It's just like, what are you doing? You're a lap down. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can't be racing that hard when you're already a lap down.
No, you just...
At some point, you just have to, it's 5 to go, figure out where the guy is that you're worried about passing you, and just make sure you stay in front of him, but don't push that hard.
Yeah, there has to be some racing IQ in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And
don't be the idiot that changes the complexion of the race, because you're going to be the one everybody looks at when they're pissed off their driver didn't win.
Yeah. So that's my hack of the week. When that caution came out, I was like, oh, God.
Oh, I know. And there's nothing, when your driver's leading a race, there's nothing that can just deflate you more than a late race caution, because anything can happen on a restart, and it sucks so bad because you have to live the rest of that week knowing my driver should have won that race.
Yeah,
and that stupid caution.
We were one caution away from a sweep.
Yeah, and you would have had 3 diecast to order today.
Yeah, I would have done it. I would have done it last night.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to my dad, though, because when Larson door bangs lane rigs in the truck race and spins it out and kept it off the wall, Dad goes, with whatever many laps to go, Dad goes, that'll win in the race right there. And I'm sitting there like, there's no fucking way he's coming back. He's going to be in the back, He's
going to be so far back with, like,
he stays
something
out.
To go.
I was like, oh, God, the fender's going to be ripped off this son of a bitch. And then none of that happens, and he wins the race. And I was like, how did you call that? I was like, I just can't believe it.
Well, hell, at least he ended up with a lady luck that gives him 2 wins out of 3 instead of 1 win out of 3,
As Jamie Johnson says, 2 out of 3 ain't that bad.
No, that ain't that bad. That'll do all right.
Yeah.
And he didn't even have a shit finish in the second one anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, his average finish for the weekend was better than almost anybody else that could have pulled that same exact feat
Better
off.
than Sam Mayers would ever be.
Woohoo!
I want to end on one more thing I just thought about. Well, we talked about the 30th in points and Keselowski and Gibbs and all this.
Yeah.
I think we have to have the conversation, no matter how good and how many championships and how many races he's won in Xfinity. I do not think, and I'm confident in saying this, I do not think Cole Custer is a Cup Series material driver.
Damn. Coming out and just letting him have it.
It just ain't there. Something ain't clicking. It didn't click in the old car when he came in the first time. Goes back and dominates Xfinity for a couple, 3 years, and it ain't there now. Talk about somebody they don't talk about. Golly.
Yeah.
That car they ain't said Cole Custer's name once on the broadcast.
They did. He almost spun off a turn 2 on the second lap of the race yesterday.
Well, it's just, I didn't see the second lap of the race, so that'd be why I didn't know that. But
yeah, they said his name one time on the broadcast, and it's because he almost spun it.
But man, he's just, I don't know what the deal is. I think Cole Custer's a cool dude.
28th.
But man,
yeah,
just brutal. Back there in the low 30s with those guys we already talked about. Something else that everyone is just ripping and roaring about on the internet. Still after yesterday at Homestead, Jimmy Johnson is ahead of Cody Ware in points. Jimmy Johnson only raced 1 race. Cody Ware has started every single race this season.
And he's still beating him in points.
Dude,
good Lord.
Cody Ware, man, we praised Rick Ware Racing last year. They put Justin Haley in there. Justin Haley's getting top 10s in a Rick Ware car. Like, man, they're changing it up. They're turning it around. I think the cars are still exactly where they were. Cody Ware is just he's just Rick Ware's son. Like, he's just not a race car driver. And he's just there.
I mean, he does what he doesn't wreck a lot. He doesn't make a whole lot of waves. At least you got that going.
I don't know.
I mean,
he does.
That's a starting part material.
He's wrecked, I think, in 3 or 4 races this year.
Oh, man. Golly.
Last week, the right front of that car was flopping around like a fish out of water.
I guess, yeah, you're right. Man, it's finishing that. He's in 37th in points right now.
Behind Jimmy Johnson.
Yeehaw, people. Guess who's right ahead of Jimmy Johnson? Cole Custer.
Yeah.
With 35th.
Oh yeah.
56 points on the year.
Oh yeah, man. Not even
Guess who's right ahead of him? Ty Gibbs. 34th.
And who's right ahead of him? Brad Keselowski.
Shane Van Gisbergen. Keselowski's at least got 30th.
I'm not worried about Shane Van Gisbergen being back
there.
No,
I'm not
Shane Van Gisbergen.
He's got a lot he's got to learn.
And he is going
sure.
to win races this year. I'm telling you, he's going to win races.
Yeah. He's already fought for one at Coda.
Yeah.
I mean, he was up there the whole time. He could have had something for him.
Yeah, he's locked into the playoffs. I mean, it just is what it is. He's locked in.
Golly. Just craziness right now. And I know we're only 6 races in on the year, but it's still fun to start watching those trends and see who's doing good, who's doing bad, who needs to turn
10 points
it
a
around.
race. I mean, just put it that. I mean, you got to think about that.
Yeah.
He ain't even averaged 10 points a race.
I give him at least a little bit of leeway knowing that he jumped into the biggest shit show in NASCAR right now. But with that whole Stewart-Haas meltdown that came around last year. But, I mean, we'll see where he ends up. It's hard for me to wholly blame it on him because he's driving that 41 car. I don't know. We're just going to have to see where it goes from here. But he'll never have another ride with his connections being all around all that.
So I was just about to say, he's lucky he's in the 41 car and his dad's whatever his dad does for Gene Haas.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah. But, I mean, I give him at least the credit of knowing that he's in probably a big shit show situation right now. So he's got to be able to – he's having to Kyle Busch and RCR team at the same time. But he just doesn't have the Kyle Busch stats to back it all up.
Exactly. All right. Thank y'all for listening. I felt that was a pretty good episode. Raised Rowdy Racing here. You can find me on the internet all across the board, Dawson Edwards Music. I've had Twitter since my junior year of high school, and I crossed over 1,000 followers this weekend. So,
hey, there you go.
I don't know what changed, but Take My Truck has been doing really well on Twitter. I have in the past 7 days, I have 16,000 impressions on my post. And I'm like, damn, it just never happens. I don't know why.
You gotta love it.
Even my Twitter has noticed it because it's giving me these little highlights now that I'm getting all these impressions and views and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay. It took me 12 years to get there, but got 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Hey. That's at least 890 more than I got, so I love it.
I also wanted to say Take My Truck is doing really well. So thank y'all to everybody for jamming out and listening to that. I got the whole NASCAR TikTok community somehow on my TikTok now, and it's worked out really well. Other than a couple people, I've had to block a couple people from just saying the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. So I've had to hit a couple blocks, but other than that, it's been really great to have some videos doing well again on TikTok.
Heck yeah, you love to see it. Love to see it. So, fuck yeah. But good for you. You can go find all of Dawson's Take My Truck related content and everything else on his OnlyFans. You can find him at Dawson Edwards Music everywhere. If you do go to OnlyFans, he's got everything else linked right through there. Just got to click between his butt cheeks.
Oh, God.
You can find me everywhere but OnlyFans at Caleb Conrowdy. TikTok, Instagram. I'm about to start promoing a new song I'm about to put out called If I Had a Dollar, You Were a Writer on It. It's going to be fun.
Such a good song.
So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff coming down the pipeline. But also check out Raised Rowdy Nikki T, and Matt Burrell. Thank y'all for helping us out with all this other stuff. And y'all go enjoy your week. Get ready for a Martinsville Blaney meltdown. I can't wait. Hell yeah. Talk to y'all later.
See y'all.